ফন্ট সাইজ 70। Welcome to SATV News. This is Nuri Alamin with the headlines. No challenge can remain unresolved if youth remain engaged, said Chief Advisor Dr. Yunus. Democracy will be undermined without public support, said BNP leader Amir Khosrow. Jamaat Islami announces 3-day protest to press 5-point demand. Chief Advisor Dr. Mohammad Yunus today urged Bangladesh youth to use their talent, energy and creativity for the country's development, saying no problem will remain unsolved if they stay active and involved. He also made the urge while addressing the Youth Volunteer Award 2025 ceremony at the Chief Advisor's office. He also said that young people should become pioneers of new policies, innovative ideas and social transformation, adding that their collective effort will enable Bangladesh to stand tall as a developed, human and innovative country. He also congratulated the award winners on behalf of himself, the government and the people of Bangladesh, while also thanking the Ministry of Youth and Sports for organizing the event. Highlighting youth contributions in healthcare, environmental protection, poverty alleviation and social justice, the Chief Advisor recalled their leading role in 2024, surprising and shaping the nation's history. He also further urged young people not to limit themselves to volunteerism but to rise as policymakers, innovators and architects of social change. Meanwhile, during a meeting with Assistant United States Trade Representative Brendan Lynch at the Chief Advisor's office, Dr. Yunus said Bangladesh is prepared to scale up its import from the United States. He also expressed his hope, saying that this would pave the way for further tariff reduction, contributing to more sustainable and mutually beneficial trade partnership. The Chief Advisor reaffirmed Bangladesh's strong commitment to deepening bilateral relations with the United States, particularly in trade, investment, energy and development cooperation. During the meeting, both sides discussed strategies to reduce the trade imbalance between the two countries, as well as Bangladesh's intention to expand import of U.S. agricultural products such as cotton and soybean. Discussion also covered enhanced energy cooperation, including LPG import from the U.S., civil aircraft purchases, drug control measures, and ongoing Rohingya humanitarian crisis, emphasizing continued progress in bilateral engagement, and voiced optimism regarding the early signing of the draft bilateral trade agreement currently under negotiation. BNP Standing Committee member Amir Khosrow Mohammad Chowdhury on Monday emphasized that democracy cannot function without the support and active participation of the people. He also warned that any attempt to act without the public backing would ultimately disrupt the democratic processes. He also speaking at a discussion event in the capital, Mr. Khosrow urged all political actors to avoid the creating and division among the citizens. Such divides would be violation of the constitution. There is no room for division among the people of Bangladesh. Any effort to sow the discord would be an affront to our constitutional value, he also said. He also noted that the current political pace of a street movement has come to an end and called for restoring power to the people through democratic means, and the state phase is over. Now is the time to return ownership to the people. Every political party must seek its mandate directly from the public. He also added. The BNP leader further reiterated the party's commitment to working toward the empowerment of persons with disabilities in the future Bangladesh. To preserve democracy, political parties must operate based on the trust and support of the people. No democratic process can succeed without public participation, Khosrow concluded. The Jamaat Islami has announced separate demonstrations in Dhaka and other districts in the coming days to press home its 5 demands, including the national election based on the July Charter implementation, a proportional representation parliament. The party will hold rallies and march in Dhaka on 18 September, in other divisional cities on 19 September. On 26 September, it will hold similar rallies and marches at the district and Upazila level. Jamaat Naibi Amir Syed Abdullah Muhammad Tahir announced during a press conference today. There is no alternative to mass protest to implement the people demand. He also said Jamaat 5 demand are holding the national election based on the July National Charter, proportional representation of both houses of parliament from the upcoming election, a level playing field for free and fair poll, and visible progress in a trial of people in the erstwhile fascist regime for opposition, mass killing and corruption. A total number of 82 candidates have been elected uncontested to various posts in the Rajshahi University Hall Council election. Chief Election Commissioner Professor Nazrul Islam confirmed today. He also said that as no rival candidate contested those posts, the nominee were declared elected without a vote. Of these, 4 are from men hall and the rest of them women's hall. In addition, 3 hall council posts remain vacant due to absence of candidate. Those elected uncontested include 6 from Rukia Hall, 6 from Khaleda Zia Hall, 6 from Rahmatullah Hall, and 1 from Munnujan Hall, 3 from Taposhi Rabia Hall, and 3 from Bijay 24 Hall, and 4 from July 36 Hall. In addition, 13 more candidates have been elected uncontested to executive member posts across various women's halls. A 3-day hartal called by all-party combined committee demanding the retention of Bagarhat 4 parliamentary constituencies began today, although the strike didn't impact tariff on local road. Since the hartal began at 6 a.m., party activists brought out the procession in front of Deputy Commissioner and the district election effect in support of the hartal. The Daily Star witnessed several sit-ins at different locations in the district. No long-haul or inter-district buses left Bagarhat Central Bus Terminal, while shops and business remained open. Motorcycle battery, round 3-wheelers and rickshaw continued to ply the highway and the local roads. Former District BNP President M.S. Selim said the strike was limited to highway to spare the public from suffering. 2-wheelers and businesses remain outside the hotel preview, so people are not facing difficulties today. He also said leaders of the combined committee reiterated that the 4 constituencies must be retained. Viewers, we're taking a short break. Stay with us.
সারা দেশে লাখো মানুষের কঠোর কর্মতৎপরতা ও নিষ্ঠায় এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন 16 কোটি মানুষের হাতের নাগালে। দীর্ঘ 30 বছর ধরে বিশ্বস্ততা ও দ্রুততার সাথে সেবা দেওয়ায় গ্রাহক সেবায় এখন শীর্ষে। বাংলাদেশে গ্রাহক সেবার সাফল্যের পর এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন বিশ্ব বাণিজ্য কেন্দ্র সিঙ্গাপুরে। আপনার যে কোনো পণ্য সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে বাংলাদেশে বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন। এসএ পরিবহন প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড, লজিস্টিক্স, পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, 22 Roberts Lane, Singapore 218302. Phone 0065 629 24900. বাংলাদেশ থেকে সিঙ্গাপুরে পণ্য বুকিং এর জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন ঢাকা সহ দেশের যে কোনো ৮০টি শাখা কেন্দ্রে। এসএ পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, আপনার সেবা সব সময়।
Welcome, Grand Palace Hotel, Dhaka. A majestic lobby blending timeless elegance with modern design. Experience 5-star comfort in suites and rooms. Sophisticated fine dining restaurant. Crystal clear swimming pool for ultimate relaxation. Modern gym and serene spa for well-being. Perfect venue for corporate events, weddings and parties. Seamless and secured. Elegant and eye-catching design. Indulge, relax, discover the first 5-star chain hotels in Bangladesh. Grand Palace Hotel Dhaka, 22 Kakrail, Dhaka, Bangladesh.
Welcome to Grand Club at Mirpur 10, Dhaka.
Welcome back, and you are watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. An emergency meeting of Arab and Islamic states is taking place in Qatar in response to Israel airstrike on Hamas leader in Doha on last week. A draft resolution seen by the Reuters news agency condemned what it calls Israel hostile act including genocide, ethnic cleansing, starvation, which it said threatened prospect of peace and coexistence. However, Israel has strongly denied such allegation. It is not clear what practical decision could be taken. As analysts said, any kind of military response is out of the question. A preparatory meeting ahead of the summit was held yesterday, during which Qatari Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs strongly denounced the assault. On Sunday, Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani said the Israel attack will not lead to anything but aborting de-escalating efforts. The attack, which Hamas said killed 5 of its members but not its leadership, has prompted US-allied Gulf Arab states to close ranks, adding strains in ties between the United Arab Emirates and Israel, which normalized relationship in 2020. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is meeting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem, which the aftermath of Qatar and Israel's strike expected to be high on the agenda. Last week's strike, which targeted senior Hamas leaders on the close U.S. ally territory, drew international outrage and was criticized by President Donald Trump. The meeting comes as Arab leaders hold a summit in a show of support for Qatar. On Sunday, Netanyahu said the U.S.-Israel relation was endurable as the storm in the Western Wall, while he and Rubio made a short visit to the holy site in Jerusalem Old City. Over the weekend, the Israeli military pressed ahead with the demolition of residential buildings in Gaza City, and it's now poised to begin guard operation in the western neighborhoods of the city. A Turkish court on Monday adjourned what October a case on the whether to annul in 2023 Congress of the country's main opposition Republican People's Party over irregularities and oust its leader. The Uyghur Ozal in a long-running crackdown that has created a political crisis. Hundreds of members of Republican People's Party CHP have been jailed pending trial in Sparling, probe into alleged graft and terrorism link. Among them, the President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, main political rival, Istanbul Mayor the Ekrem İmamoğlu. Anti-Erdogan and the street protests have flared again the last week, including Ankara on Sunday over a legal crackdown crisis called the politicized and anti-democratic. The government rejects these, saying the judiciary is independent.
со стороны Киева.
The Kremlin said on Monday that Russia remains ready to resolve the crisis in Ukraine through diplomacy. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov made his remark to response to comment by US President Donald Trump, who said that his patience with Russian President Vladimir Putin was running out. In an interview aired on Friday, Peskov also said Ukraine was hindering the talks with Russia and currently there is an evident pause in the talk. Russian and Ukrainian negotiators have held 3 rounds of direct talk this year in Istanbul most recently on July 23, which have yielded several agreements to return prisoners and the bounties of death. However, the two sides remain far apart on what a possible peace deal might look like. US military officers observed joint war games between Russia and Belarus on Monday and were told by Belarusian Defense Minister Viktor Karanin that they could look at whatever is so interest for them. Russia and Belarus began the Zafar 2025 exercise at training grounds in both countries on Friday, a time of the heightened tension with NATO 2 days after Poland shot down Russian drones that crossed into its airspace. Attendance of the American at the training guard of the Belarus was presented by the country's defense ministry at surprise. The presence of the U.S. officer is the latest sign of warming ties between Washington and Belarus, a close Russian ally that allowed Moscow to use the territory of them and thousands of troops into Ukraine February 2022. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro left house arrest on Sunday to undergo medical procedure at the private hospital in Brasilia. The procedures were authorized by Supreme Federal Court and Bolsonaro was escorted by a federal police convoy to the DF Star Hospital. The court order specified that he must remain at the hospital only for the duration for the procedures. Return to his residence immediately afterward. Bolsonaro is currently serving house arrest following his conviction for attempting a coup defeat. His legal team has requested temporary release for health reasons, and the STF granted is under strict conditions. French far-right National Rally and leaders the Marine Le Pen and Jordan Bardella on Sunday reiterated the demand for the resolution the National Assembly in order to bring about a change of leadership. As the new Prime Minister, the Sébastien Lecornu continued his consultation with a view to drafting budget that will not be rejected by the deputy RN leader. The declared change was needed. The only solution in the short term is to dissolve the National Assembly party leader in Parliament, Le Pen told some 7,000 supporters at a meeting marking the reopening of French Parliament. Marine President chanted the crowd as the woman who will face appeal next January after being sentenced to 5 years of illegality of EU film. The misappropriating of case spoke. Le Pen's number 2 party leader Jordan Bardella highlighted the fatigue of the French on the 8 years of the Macronist rule and denounced negotiations initiated by the new occupant on the mitigation where the national rally has not yet been received. Now sports. Barcelona trashed Valencia with Marcus Rashford involved in La Liga goal for the first time. Fermin Lopez, Rafinha and Robert Lewandowski scored 2 goals each for the Spanish champions. The Manchester United alone making his second start. Half-time substitute Rafinha's first goal to make it 2-0 came from a brilliant. Rafinha then rifled in the fourth. Lewandowski, also a substitute, finished off Dani Olmo's past them, drenched in a sixth. India beat Pakistan by 7 wickets in Asia Cup on Sunday as the neighbours met for the first time since a military conflict between them in May. Following the match, India player left the field without shaking hands. India captain Suryakumar Yadav defended the snub in the post-match press conference, saying that team will align with government and Board of Control for Cricket in India is not shaking hands with Pakistan team. On the field of Dubai, Pakistan batted first with wire constraint to 127 for 9 in the 20 overs. In reply, India lost 2 wickets after a fiery 31 of 13 bowls from the opener Abhishek Sharma. But Suryakumar Yadav hit an unbeaten 47 to achieve the target with 20 balls to his fare. Abhishek had come out roaring as the Pakistan pace Shepherd Shahin Shah Afridi for a 4 and 6